The most common question I get asked down in the comments section is getting answered today. And that is, what is exactly the best Sword and Shield set? And a lot of those, well, actually, it's probably not what is the best Sword and Shield set. More like what's the second best, or third best, or fourth best. They're literally the most common questions I get asked. These aren't the best sets to invest in. These are just what I think are the best sets, which could actually correlate to it being the best investment. So today's list, what I'm doing, we're going the main sets from Sword and Shield era from the least to best. Now there's 12 main set Sword and Shield era sets in case you didn't know. And we're going to start off with 12 and of course work our way through to 1. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means a lot. And if you wanted to join up to become a channel member, it allows you to shoot me an email asking any personalized investment related questions. That's sort of the perk, I guess, of becoming a member. You can join up on the home page there. So anyway, let's get into today's topic at hand. So a lot of people always ask, like I said, what is the best Sword and Shield set? And this is hard because there's a clear number one, I think. And if you're into, of course, the Pokemon TCG, you would clearly know what number one is. While I'm talking about this intro, I just wanted to roll through some of the cards. Okay, Sword and Shield was a fantastic era. It didn't start great, but it ended with an absolute boom. And in fact, the last 2/3 were damn solid sets. So while I'm rolling through this, just take a look at some of the cards and some of the values that they command as very modern, very heavily printed sets. The values they command is just astronomical. There's some beautiful looking cards. The introduction of single old art cards rather than tag team old art cards. It's been a special set, a special era. And I wanted to work through worst to best. So let's get started. Let's start at number 12. This is, in my opinion, the worst Sword and Shield main series set. In case you don't know what a main series set, it has a booster box. It's not a holiday set. Okay, holiday sets like Champion's Path, Shining Fates, Pokemon Go, etc., Celebrations Day, and Crown Zenith, they do not have booster boxes. They're holiday sets. So these are main sets, of course. So, number 12. This is bottom of the Sword and Shield tree. And it's funny, like I said, these aren't particularly worst to best investments, but the correlation would be pretty damn strong. So my worst set from Sword and Shield, I think, is Darkness Ablaze. The number one chase card is a regular VMAX Charizard, and that's it. What's next? Maybe the Rainbow Butterfree or Rainbow Salamence, but they're worth probably like $7 or $8 US. And what's the Charizard down to now? It's like early 20s US as a chase card on TCG Player. So Darkness Ablaze just has no hits. Not only that, it was so heavily printed. So when it comes to these sets and me ranking them 12 through to 1, there are a few things that come into consideration, of course, okay? What's the main chase card? What are the top 5 chase cards? What is the depth of chases? Can we get all the way down to a 10th chase card or a 15th chase card that's still commanding some sort of value? How much was the set printed? Now that doesn't particularly matter to a degree because Evolving Skies, of course, was extremely heavily printed, but demand for that set outweighed supply. So it's not so much total print run, it's more like how much is the demand swallowed up that supply. So they're probably the main things you want to look at when it comes to how good a set is. And Darkness Ablaze, which was printed to absolute oblivion, there's still fairly heavy amounts of supply around, and there's pretty much one chase card, no top 5 chase cards, and no depth to chase cards. It's number 12 for me. Number 11. This is where it starts. Well, that all become a little bit tricky because everyone's probably going to have a different ordered list. And you might well have yourself a list at home where you order them, or you might want to have a go at it now after watching this video. But number 11 for me is Rebel Clash. The main chase card inside there is the first boss's orders. And then what's second? A Sonya card or something? So again, there's not a Pokemon as a chase card inside Rebel Clash. The only thing that's in its favor and stopping it from coming last is the fact that it never got a reprint. So you probably look at Rebel Clash and go, why are box prices so damn expensive when it's such a weak set? There's no chase cards. That's because supply is so low. And that's that whole supply-demand scenario, and the fact that a sealed product can become its own investable or own collectible over time. So Rebel Clash, number 11 for me. Number 10, Sword and Shield base. Again, this is a pretty weak set, but the fact is it had one sort of main print run and then a very small a very small reprint, which was not very big at all. So it's not an overly printed set, particularly the booster boxes. So as a booster box, same thing, it commands a pretty strong price, more so than Rebel Clash. The main chase card, which of course is the waifu of the generation, the Sword and Shield generation, which is Marnie, the emo chick. And you've got a Snorlax, both the Rainbow and the Full Art Snorlax, which are actually both pretty nice looking cards and go for a somewhat reasonable value in a PSA 10. So Sword and Shield base for me is number 10. Number 9, a lot of people bag this out as the worst Sword and Shield set, but it's not. It's not by a long shot. Battle Styles is number 9 for me, and it's so much stronger than Sword and Shield base, Rebel Clash, and Darkness Ablaze. Yes, it was printed a lot more than Rebel Clash and Sword and Shield base, hence why we haven't seen much of a price rise. But if you actually look at the chase cards inside it, you've got a big hitter in that Tyranitar. That is a cool old art. Sleeping Tyranitar, which has been touted a heap of times. Everyone knows what that card is. You've got the Urshifu alt arts. The Empoleon is a stellar looking old art. That is one of my favourite old arts from the Sword and Shield era. So there's actually a little bit of chase depth inside Battle Styles. The pull rates are absolutely terrible. Like terrible, terrible pull rates. And that's probably another part of the equation that comes into it a little bit. But Evolving Skies has sort of proved that wrong, hasn't it? So Battle Styles number 9 for me. This is probably the part that I was tossing up a fair bit between whether Vivid Voltage just tipped over Battle Styles. And it was so hard. I nearly wanted to put Battle Styles ahead of Vivid Voltage, but Vivid Voltage just, in my opinion, snuck ahead of it. And then again, this isn't investing. I'm not saying Vivid Voltage will outperform Battle Styles. I'm saying I think Vivid Voltage is a slightly better set. It does have, of course, the massive chase in the Rainbow Pikachu. It introduced amazing rares, which are actually pretty cool cards. They are seeded. I think it's 2 per booster box, so they do get... the market does get swamped a fair bit. There is a main set Charizard, which you can get in a reverse holo. It's just, I don't know, it was a colourful, vibrant set, and it seemed to set the scene around COVID when printing got a little, or supply got a little bit harder, and the printers kicked up to full steam. It is a very heavily printed set. It's moved up in price a touch, like it currently sits a little bit above Battle Styles, but that was a hard one. I was almost going to put Battle Styles ahead of Vivid Voltage because of those old arts inside it, but I think with Pikachu on the box, and Pikachu is the main chase card, it's number 8 for me. Number 7, Silver Tempest, believe it or not. A lot of people might have this higher, They might have it above sets like Astro Radiance or even Brilliant Stars or even Chilling Rain, but now, Silver Tempest for me is number 7, and reason for that, there's really only one strong chase card inside that set, which is that Lugia. Yes, okay, the Rayquaza from the Trainer Gallery is also a pretty strong chase card, but what's it going for? 25, 30 bucks? And once you move through those two, the hits become less and less. There's no, 10 chase cards, certainly not 15 chase cards. You've sort of got 4 or 5 that you can have a bit of a dip at, and if there was no Lugia, it would be an incredibly weak set. So Lugia and Rayquaza, nice card. The Trainer Gallery boosts it up a little bit. That's why I've put it ahead of sets like Battle Styles and Vivid Voltage and Sword and Shield Base and Rebel Clash. But that's number 7 for me. Number 6, which might surprise a few people, I think this is a stronger set than Silver Tempest. Even though Silver Tempest has a bigger chase card, I think Astro Radiance is a stronger set than Silver Tempest. Okay, you've got the Machamp. You've also got the Origin Form Dialga and Palkia, which are really nice cards. And I also quite like the Trainer Gallery inside this set. I think the Starmie Trainer Gallery is a stronger Trainer Gallery chase than Silver Tempest Rayquaza Trainer Gallery. Sounds weird because most people go, well, Rayquaza is way cooler. Dragon-type Pokemon versus Starmie, which is just this, that's a weird bit of artwork, isn't it? But it's got Misty in it. It's got the waifu. It's got Misty, the OG Pokemon waifu inside there. And that card is a nice looking card. I think Astral Radiance is going to outperform, or I just think it's a better set than Silver Tempest. Number 5, a lot of people touted this as number 2 for ages, behind Evolving Skies, which was Brilliant Stars. But no, I think there's sets above Brilliant Stars in my opinion. Brilliant Stars does, of course, have a great, arguably in my opinion, the best looking Charizard. We got stuck with this same artwork, Charizard VMAX, like it was in Shining Fates, it was in Champion's Path, it was in Darkness Ablaze. It's cool to get an alt art Charizard in a battle scene. I think that's a cool card. So that coupled with, of course, the introduction or the reintroduction of a Trainer Gallery since Cosmic Eclipse. You've also got the Rainbow Charizard V-Star. So Not the best set, but heavily Charizard based set with a trainer gallery makes it pretty strong still, in my opinion. Number 4. This is where it started getting hard. These number 2, 3, and 4 position was like, really had to put some thought in, but here's my argument as to why. Number 4 for me was Chilling Reign. I think Chilling Reign, arguably, other than Evolving Skies, has the most depth of chase cards. The Blaziken, if you haven't watched Cool Trainer Ryan's videos trying to catch that Blaziken, that is so hard to pull. So that's the top chase card, of course, and you've just got so much depth. You've got the Galarian Bird Trio, which are beautiful artworks, particularly that Moltres. I really like the Zapdos as well. I think those two are better than the Articuno. We've also just got some serious depth like Galarian Slowbro. I love the Zorora, if that's how you pronounce it. The artwork where he's just looking over like the barren wasteland of ice. Like it's a cool set with a heap of old arts. Yes, pull rates are terrible, but as a set, it's just beautiful. Like if you have those top 15 chase cards in old arts, like I think it actually has the most old arts out of any set in Sword and Shield era. Number 3 is Fusion Strike. Reason for this, I think the Gengar is a slightly stronger chase card than the Blaziken inside Chilling Reign, which, in my opinion, offsets Chilling Reign's depth of chase cards. So Chilling Reign has more depth of old art chase cards, but Fusion Strike's top 2, I think, are stronger than Chilling Reign's top 2. And you can't underestimate the power of the top 1 and 2 strong chase cards, okay? That Gengar VMAX is strong. That Espeon is beautiful. 2 Mews and the Celebi in the graveyard. I think the top 5 chase cards from Fusion Strike are beautiful. And Ghost Psychic sets just seem to do well over time. I think Pokemon did a fantastic job with the artwork inside Fusion Strike. Again, pull rates are tough, but hey, it's from an investment standpoint, which this video is not so much about, although there's a pretty, like I said, clear correlation between investability and how good the set is. Fusion Strike's been going bonkers, as everyone knows, on the secondhand market. So number 2, we got 2 to go, and I think you can guess what number 1's going to be, but number 2 is Lost Origin. And like I was saying, I don't think you can underestimate the strength of the number 1 strong chase card. So this is the second most popular chase card, the Giratina V, behind the Umbreon VMAX from the whole Sword and Shield era. The artwork is phenomenal. We've also got the Aerodactyl flying through, what looks like prehistoric times. We've got arguably, well, not arguably, probably most definitely the best trainer gallery set from the whole Sword and Shield era. We've got 3 Pikachus to choose from the trainer gallery. It's just a really strong Pokemon card set. The only thing that could make it better was maybe a better top 5. Like if you had 2 or 3 more, other than that Giratina and Aerodactyl, if you had 2 or 3 more old arts that were a bit stronger, it would add some serious weight to Lost Origin and maybe a contender for Evolving Skies. But Evolving Skies is number 1. It is arguably, like, name a better artwork, better thought out Pokemon card set in the last 10 years. Okay, it is stunning. The artwork is beautiful. The pull rates, yes, I know the pull rates are dreadful, but we're just talking about quality of the Pokemon card sets. Yes, it's a massive set, but the old art Vs, the old art V Maxes. Imagine if Evolving Skies had a trainer gallery so pull rates were better. Whew, would she be $2,000 a box already or what? But that's what I rank at number 1, Evolving Skies. Now, like I was saying at the start, this wasn't an investment related video per se. However, if I were to talk to you about where to park your money, okay, I wouldn't be saying park it in Darkness Ablaze. I wouldn't be saying after its massive uptick, park it in Rebel Clash right now. Okay, those sets I think are going to be pretty dormant for years to come. Evolving Skies has seen massive growth. Lost Origin has rebounded from its reprint so strongly. Fusion Strike has seen massive growth recently. Chilling Reign saw massive growth and has sort of petered out over the last 3 months. So if I were to answer where to park your money, okay, all of these sets, these top sort of 6 that I've mentioned, maybe even down to 7, Silver Tempest, Evolving Skies, have you missed the boat? Quite possibly. It's a high entry point price to get into now, but it's not going to get any cheaper, okay? But it's a high entry point price to get into. Any of those old art Sword and Shield sets, Lost Origin, I've said it before, Brilliant Stars, Astro Radiance, Silver Tempest, and of course the two beautiful earlier sets in Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign, now that they're out of rotation, are all great investments while you can still get in while the price is lower than what it's going to be in 12 months' time. It has shot up a lot, but lower than what it's going to be in 12 months' time. Hey, if you think I've got something around the wrong way, or you think something's stronger than something else, or you just have your own opinion on it, by all means, let me know down in the comments. I love to chat to you guys and hear from you. I'm Michael, this is Poke Oz, and I'll catch everyone next time.